The soft glow of a September morning painted the sterile walls of St. Vincent's Medical Center. It was a light that hinted at change, at the beauty hidden within transitions, a light that seemed to linger on the face of the sleeping woman in room 314. Dr. Matthew Hayes, a young neurologist with a gentle heart and perpetually tousled hair, paused at her bedside. He wasn't just seeing a patient, a case study, but a person, a soul perhaps listening in the quiet darkness of a coma. Victoria Ashford, a name whispered with awe and attached to a vast fortune, lay still. Her story had been splashed across headlines. Yet, here, wealth meant nothing. Matthew, unlike some of his colleagues, saw beyond the medical curiosity, saw the woman beneath the silence. He believed in the power of connection, in the possibility that even in the deepest unconsciousness, a spark of awareness remained. Each morning, as he tended to her wounds, he spoke to her, filling the sterile room with warmth. He described the changing leaves, the books he read, the small joys he found in his day. He spoke of hope, of healing, believing that his words might somehow reach her, offering a lifeline in her silent world. Little did he know, Victoria was listening. Trapped within her unresponsive body, she clung to his voice, to the kindness in his touch. His visits became her anchor, a beacon in the terrifying darkness. She fought to break free, to respond, but her body remained stubbornly silent until one ordinary morning. As Matthew carefully rebandaged her arm, a warmth spread through her. The healing power of his gentle touch, the unwavering respect in his voice, it was enough. "Matthew," she whispered, the sound barely audible, a fragile butterfly emerging from a long slumber. He froze, his eyes locking onto hers. They were open, blinking, filled with a light that hadn't been there for months. "Victoria," he breathed, his voice a mixture of professional shock and something deeper, something akin to joy. "I can't hear you," she whispered, her voice gaining strength. "I've been hearing you every morning. You told me about the leaves." Tears welled in Matthew's eyes as he reached for the call button, never breaking his gaze. "How long have you been aware?" "Weeks," she replied, trying to sit up. "But I couldn't move, couldn't speak. You were the only one who talked to me like I was still a person." The room erupted with activity, doctors and nurses marveling at the miracle. But Victoria's eyes remained fixed on Matthew, the man who had seen her, heard her, loved her even when she was lost in the silence. Dr. Elizabeth Reeves, the head of neurology, confirmed the impossible. Victoria had suffered no cognitive damage. A complete recovery was within reach. "This is extraordinary," she told Matthew. "I've rarely seen anything like it." In the days that followed, a tender friendship blossomed between them. Victoria learned of Matthew's dedication to medicine, born from the grief of losing his brother. Matthew discovered Victoria's heart, her desire to use her wealth for good. "You know," Victoria confessed one afternoon, "I've been surrounded by people who wanted something from me, not who I am." "That must have been incredibly lonely," Matthew replied, his voice filled with compassion. "It was. But listening to you, I realized you saw me as someone worth caring about, even when I couldn't give you anything in return. You treated me with dignity." Matthew blushed. "That's just how people should be treated." "Exactly," Victoria said softly. "You did it naturally because it's who you are? That's rare." 2 weeks later, upon her discharge, Victoria invited Matthew to dinner, not as doctor and patient, but as two souls drawn together by an extraordinary connection. "You need to know," she said, as they sat in a quiet restaurant, "that getting to know me will be complicated. There will be attention, expectations, people who will judge." Matthew took her hand, his touch gentle, reassuring. "Victoria, I've been talking to someone I thought might never respond. If you're willing to take a chance on a simple doctor, then I'm willing to face whatever challenges come with loving you." Their love unfolded with the same patience Matthew had shown during her recovery. They shared values, found joy in simple pleasures, and built a foundation of respect and affection that transcended wealth and status. A year later, in the very hospital room where she had awakened, Matthew proposed. "I fell in love with you when you were unconscious," he confessed. "I fell in love with the person I imagined you to be, based on your strength and resilience. The real you is even more amazing." Tears streamed down Victoria's face as she accepted. You loved me when I couldn't love myself, when I couldn't even speak. You saw worth in me when I was most vulnerable. That's the kind of love that lasts forever. Their wedding took place in the hospital chapel, surrounded by those who had witnessed their miracle. Dr. Reeves, now ordained, spoke of love born from service and devotion, of partnerships that honored both strength and vulnerability. The Ashford Foundation became a beacon of hope for those suffering from traumatic brain injuries. Matthew continued his work, now supported by Victoria's unwavering belief in his vision. People think Matthew saved my life when I woke up, Victoria often said. But he saved me long before that, by treating me with kindness when I couldn't advocate for myself. He reminded me that I was worth caring about, and that reminder gave me the strength to fight my way back. And Matthew, watching his wife dedicate her life to helping others, would add quietly, "Love isn't about grand gestures. It's about showing up, treating people with gentleness when they're most vulnerable, and believing in their worth, even when they can't see it themselves."